When did you come into the world? We don't know. 12 years ago. I was doing BS with a small future. So 12 years ago, in my case a little bit more, in the case of some of the others who are parents and perhaps their brothers and sisters, maybe a bit more. As soon as we came into the world, something happened. You see, if this was an hourglass full of sand, have you ever seen an hourglass? As soon as we came into the world, the hourglass went the other way around. And what started happening? What started happening? When you turn the hourglass the other way around, what happens? You know, it's full of sand and it's got two sections. So it's like this basically. So now what happened is it turns around this way here. And what started happening? Yes. The sand started going into the other side, right? The sand started going into the other side. And when the sand starts going into the other side, there will come a day when it ends, isn't it? But between the day that it started and the day that it ends, we need to do something. We need to... Do you understand English or should I speak in Arabic, guys? We need to do something. Am I right? So that means our time is limited and we have to achieve. So is there any time to be wasted? We cannot waste. We cannot waste our time because every grain of sand means so much. Are you following what I'm saying? So the difficulty is sometimes we are distracted and we don't realize that our time is limited and we have to do something in this time. Now let me make it a little bit more interesting. How many of you play games? Who knows what the PSP is all about? Put up your hand if you know what the PSP is. Okay, which is the latest one? There was a 1, there was a 2. And then did the 3 come out? And now there's a 4 as well, isn't it? Is there a 5? Okay, it's coming out next week, don't worry. So, with the PSP, what happens? And with most of the games that you guys have, even on your phones, the game starts. When it starts, you have to score as much as you can. Am I right? According to whose rules? Your rules or the game's rules? Game's rules. So you can't just make up your own things. So you press a button only when you know that this button is the right button to press. Am I right? And you carry on practicing until you can actually clock that game in the right time and you get the best score. How many of you have clocked a game? So many. Wow. Look at that. MashaAllah. Clocked it. Why? Because you know how to play it. And then you have your favorite game. Am I right? And you know this is my favorite game. You know which is my favorite game? Can I tell you? Oh, I'll sound so old-fashioned, so I just leave it. It's okay. But I haven't yet clocked it. I just unlocked the next level and unlocked the next level and about 2 or 3 levels out of about 50 and then I stop. But have you guys unlocked many levels? Okay, look. So let me tell you something. When your time, in some games are time-based. When your time is over, what happens? The game is over and they look at your score. Like recently I went to Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi. Has anyone been there? Oh wow, look at that. MashaAllah. What did you like the best in that place? A fast roller coaster. That's what I like the most, a fast roller coaster. I went on it. I'm talking about last week. And I was so excited like a child. Wow. I jumped onto this roller coaster and it was, I think it's the fastest in the world. Is it? Yes, it is. And it's something amazing. You should go on it. Subhanallah. Don't worry, it's safe, inshallah. Okay, so some of these games, they are based on time. Like there is a simulator that I was on as well. And believe me, they only give you about 4 or 5 minutes and it flies like it was 1 minute. You know what's a simulator? You sit in it, it's like a real motor car. And then what happens is you try and like win the race in the time slot that's given, and when the time slot is given it tells you how well you've done. Okay? So why am I saying all this? Do you want to know why I'm saying all this? Because in this world we have come in. It's not a game, it's actually real life, but the concept is quite similar to the games we play. So it's real life, but you have time and you have to press the right buttons and you have to score and clock, and then your game will be over. Did you hear what I said? So can I ask you a question? If you're playing a very serious game and dad is calling you, do you go? Be honest, come on, be honest. Be very honest. If you're playing a serious game and you're about to score and you're about to do so well, and your mom says, hey, come here, do you go? Just tell the truth. Okay, alright, that's fine. Okay, a lot of us would just say, hang on a minute, I'm coming just now. Am I right? And that minute like carries on for half an hour, isn't it? So the reason why this happens, okay, let's listen. The reason why this happens is because we're so keen in doing well in that particular game that we don't want any disturbance. No one must distract me. Come on, I'm pressing the buttons. If someone's touching you, say, hey, and you're still looking down on the game. Hey, don't touch me. I'm still pressing these buttons. And you want to carry on and on and on. So what you need to know is, whilst you are here, we are alive, alhamdulillah, we're living. We have so many opportunities to do good. I am so happy and I'm so impressed as to how you are using your Saturday. You know why? Because you unlock yourself to the next level. Did you hear what I just said? If you use your Saturday correctly and you come every Saturday and enthusiastically try and learn something, you are actually using your time in a way that you unlock the next level. Whereas you grow older, you become a person who's not wasted their young age. So right now, on a Saturday, we could have been outside doing something else. We could have been in shopping or eating or going to play real, games and so on. We could have been doing so many things. But the fact that you come here, it's a gift of Allah. It's a gift of whom? Of Allah. Because I tell you, just like in your game, when you are driving, say for example you have a racing game. When you have a racing game, there are some corners, am I right? You have to negotiate the bend and turn it properly. And sometimes there are obstacles, there are other vehicles that you have to dodge, isn't it? And there are potholes that you need to avoid. Just like that, in real life, you have shaitan who keeps on coming and he keeps on making us trying to distract us, and we have to dodge him and make sure that we don't bump him. Make sure we don't bump him, because we will get hurt. And I tell you, in life as well, sometimes on a Saturday morning, you get up and you're feeling so lazy. Does it happen to you guys? Okay, I think the majority said yes. Okay, so if it happens to you, but you still get up and you come here, you know what? You get bonus points for your game. Wow. You unlock yourself to the next level. Why? Because I fought my laziness and I came and I went. It's like salah. You know when salah time, salah time comes and sometimes we want to sleep or we want to eat or we want to do something. Doesn't that happen? Yes, it does. And then we fight it. And we make sure that, you know what, I'm going to read my salah. I'm not worried. Whatever happens, I'm getting up and I'm going to fulfill the salah. When that happens, we unlock ourselves to the next level. We become close to Allah. We score points. We actually get to a much more interesting level. And this is why I say, you've come here, you learn things, and mashallah, there is so much that you actually learn. You won't realize as time passes, you become a better person. You learn how to interact, you learn how to talk, and you learn that life is not all about PSP. Am I right? PSP has a time. Okay, how long do you play games for? 1 hour only? Oh. How long do you play games for? 3 hours. Oh, that sounds more true. Okay, how long do you play a game for? How long do Mr. Big Man? Mr. Big Man, how long do you play games for? Yes, Big Man, it says big on your t-shirt. Half an hour only? No, you don't know how to tell time, man. Okay, let's listen to this. You can play games, but you must limit the time, because then we would be wasting time from the real life, which is not a game, but like I said, it's a similar concept of a game. So if you play games all day, and you're on your phone whole day, and you're on your little iPad and iPod whole day, there is going to be a problem. So set yourself a time to say, I'm going to play only for half an hour, and half an hour is decent. I'm only going to play for half an hour, and after that I'm going to turn this thing off. After half an hour, you're going to turn it off. If you turn it off, you're a winner, because in the real life, you've won. But in that game, you might win 20 games, 50 games. As you grow older, you just sit back and say, oh, you know what, I wasted my life playing games. But life is not all about playing games. Games is only something to pass your time and perhaps to energize yourself once again. But it's limited. If you keep on playing, you become a lazy boy. Then you don't want to do things. When your mom calls you, when Allah calls you for salah, then you say, hang on, I'm playing. You know, recently I went to one of the Middle Eastern countries. I was in Saudi Arabia. So there was in Dammam. And there was a man who told me something interesting. It was the time of salah. And he says, you know what? We are taught a concept. And this concept is, instead of saying, oh salah, I have work to do. You know, in the Arabic language it sounds so nice. I'll tell it to you just now. Instead of saying, oh salah, I have work to do, you tell your work, oh work, I have salah to fulfill. I have salah to do. So the same applies to our games. We don't say, salah, I've got a game. You say, hey, game, I've got salah. Did you hear the point? Did you hear my point? So who can repeat what I just said? Who can repeat what? Yes, say it. Yes. You're going to tell your game, I have salah. You can wait. But you can't say, salah, wait, I've got a game. Because salah, the time is up. And when the time is up, it's over. And then what happens? You lost. And it's like losing a life. And how many lives do you have in a normal game? Whoa. When I was young, we used to have 3 lives. You guys are lucky, you've got 5 lives. Okay, 4 or 5. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, let's listen. I tell you. Some games have 3 lives and some have 5. Some games don't have any lives besides 1. So, if you miss your salah, and if your salah is gone, your 1 life is gone. And say, for example, if you had 5 lives, by the end of the day, you are a dead person. Am I right? Your game is over. Because you missed 5 salah. How can you miss your 5 salah? So, how many of us are going to tell our games, game, I have salah. How many of us are going to tell our games we have salah? MashaAllah, that's good. That means we understand. Okay, put your hands down. Okay. So what is important in life is to strike the balance. Strike a balance. We are not saying don't play your games. We are not saying don't go out to play football. But what you need to know is when you go out to play football, limited, yes. You cannot play all day, every day, and in the sun and so on, and your health is affected, and your everything else is affected, and you come back into the classroom, and you're sitting, and you know what? The board, you can't even see it clearly, because all you see is the ball in front of you. There's a ball. You're trying to look at the board, and the madam or the ustad or whoever is teaching you has written something, and you can't even see it. Why? Because you were playing out in the sun and you're so tired, and you're worried about the score, and you're worried about how your friend was trying to cheat and so on, and now your concentration is not there anymore. So it's important for us to know and to realize that, you know what, our time is limited. Our time is limited. When our game is finished, we need to have scored the best in that limited time. So in life, remember one thing, do your best. Do your best. Work hard. Without working hard, you will not achieve. For me to have come here to see you today, I had to work very hard. I traveled thousands of kilometers. Believe me, in order to come here. If I was a lazy person, I would not be anywhere near you. If I was lazy, I would have been sleeping. Because you know what? Sleep is nice, man. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's really nice, especially in Qatar where the air conditioning unit is on and the cozy duvet is on top of you, and you don't even feel like getting up because it's so cozy, But a winner is he or she who understands that you need to get up and you need to do something about it, and you need to go to school or you need to go to the madrasa, and you need to make an effort, and you need to improve the way you talk to others. How many of you shout your parents back? Let's be very honest. Just tell the truth. Nobody's going to see. How many of you shout your parents back? Put up your hand. Okay, all those whose hands were down are the ones who shout their parents. Do you believe that? All those whose hands were down. How many of you shout your parents? Put your hands up. That sounds more like it. Okay. So, the thing is, if you are a true believer, if you are a real person who understands that you have to improve, then you improve the way you talk to your mother. How do you talk to your mother? Do you just say, Mom, I want to eat. Bring the food here. Is that what you say? If that is the case, then you don't know how to speak. Even if you have a cook, and if you have a person who works in the house to help you, and to help your parents perhaps, and they put the food on the table for you, you speak nicely to them. Talk with respect. Don't lie to them. Don't tell a lie to them. Do you understand? And speak nicely with respect. Please, can I have this? And thank you very much. Or if you want to use the terms, Jazakumullah khair or Jazakallah khair, it's a very good term. It means may Allah reward you with goodness, isn't it? So, when someone does something for you, you say, Jazakallah khair. When you want something, you say, please. You know, like in Arabic, they say, min fadlik. You know, they say, please, can you do this for me? You don't just say, hey, bring me the water. You say, please, can you bring the water? Do you understand what I'm saying? These are the etiquette and manners of Islam. And this is what will make you a good person. Every time you say the word, please, you score points. Every time you say the word, thank you, or Jazakallah khair, you score points. Every time you fulfill salah, you score points. And when you score so many points, then you win the game. You win the game. By the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, this is my message for you today. Was it a good message? Yes. MashaAllah. Do you want me to carry on giving you more messages? Yes. Wow. Okay. I can give you more messages, MashaAllah. I heard somebody say no. Okay. So you can come and give us messages, mashallah. So subhanallah, who can repeat what I said? Who can repeat what I said today? Who can repeat what I said today? Okay, who can tell me 1 or 2 points from what I said today? Tell me 1 point. Life is similar to a game, yeah, in some way. It's not a game, but it's real life. But in some concepts, yes, it is. Very good. You were listening. MashaAllah. Yes? We have limited time in life. That's correct. Yes? What did you say? Mothers. Manners. Yes, that's correct. Manners and mothers. I spoke about mothers as well. How you talk to your mother and the manners you have. Yes? I can't hear you, my voice. Yes, to tell your game you have salah. MashaAllah, that's a very good point. That was one of the highlights actually. Do you know that? To tell your game you have salah. Meaning when you're doing something and the time of salah comes, you tell whatever you're doing, hey, I have salah. And you go back to read your salah, then you can come back and say, guess what? I'm back. Allahu Akbar. Did you hear what I said? Yes. Yes. So who can tell me another point? Yes. What did I say? When you do good things, you earn points, mashallah. Right now, you've earned a point. I can give you 5 points. Okay, take them. Mashallah. Okay, what did I say? Sorry? Your reality is similar to a game. He said the point. But obviously, when we say similar, I hope you understand it's not a game. Because in real life, if you die once, you're dead. Am I right? Yeah. Okay, so you know the difference. Yes. Avoid that? Yes, you must always dodge the shaitan. Because if you get knocked by shaitan or if you knock shaitan, you've got a problem. When I say knock, I mean you bump into him in that way. Yes, very good point. Yes. Don't waste your time. Correct. 100%. Don't waste your time on video games. MashaAllah. Do you waste your time on video games? Hey! I'm talking to you. MashaAllah. What's your name? Sorry? Subhanallah, Ajad. Do you waste your time on video games? MashaAllah. No. Can I tell you what? From today on, he won't. Am I right? He won't. He will play, but he won't. He won't waste time. Because a lot of us waste time on video games. Do you know what? When I was little, we did not have video games, but we had liquid crystal games. You know what that is? It's like a screen.